What's up, guys? DM Dog here. Today's video is going to be about haters and why we love them. So, the first, I think, most important thing to remember is that a person is basically a reflection of their experiences they've had throughout their life. So, if someone tends to just be very unhappy and, throw shade on everyone, like they probably had not the greatest life. People have treated them in that way. Um, so, another thing to consider is a lot of people won't want to see you improve yourself or be good at certain things because it kind of reminds them that they could be doing more, and they just won't really want to see you succeed because they're not succeeding, and it makes them kind of insecure in a way. So I have a pretty funny story. um, I worked for a guy who was actually like a straight up con artist for a couple weeks, back in about 2016, 2017, when I first moved down to the beach. And he was basically a scammer, like the kind of stuff you see in movies. And it really made me a lot more of a cynical person, which kind of sucks. But the worst thing he did to me was just write some bad checks, and I got, screwed out of a couple $100, which no big deal. But there were certain people that got, basically their boat stolen from them, and they never got money for it, which, RIP to that guy. But moving forward, like I don't even hate this man, because I know that when you put that kind of bad energy out into the universe, that someone or something will send that energy back to him. Like, I'm positive he will continue to do that because he got away with it this time, right? So he'll continue to do those degenerate activities, and he'll do it to the wrong person one day, and they'll probably retaliate, and he'll get what he deserves, right? So I try to live where hate doesn't really exist in my life. I can honestly say right now, I can't think of a person that I have genuine hatred for. Like I just mentioned with that guy, he kind of screwed me over. That's not that big of a deal, though. Other people have screwed me over, as well. And again, you just take it with a grain of salt and just remember that they're really only probably doing that because someone did something like that to them, and that's their life experience that then gets projected upon you. Another story, around the same time frame, actually, when I was living down at the beach. Well, actually, I'm sorry, this was a few years before. I was about 19 or 20, and I remember I was just walking down the beach one day, and I guess I was in pretty decent shape, and just taking a lone walk at the beach, and there was a group of like probably 30, 40-year-old dudes, probably like three or four of them, that were all like drinking beer, and I just remember them like heckling me, and it's like, what would possess you to just make fun of a stranger that's a kid, other than like, I mean, probably just sheer jealousy, right? I probably had a pretty decent abs at the time, and it just, none of them were in shape at all, and it probably just, they were just projecting their feelings of insecurity about how like they probably wish they were in better shape, and they're not willing to do the work to look like me. So they have to put me down in a way to try to feel better about themselves. And along your self-improvement journey, you might have people in your circle. I was pretty fortunate, at least as far as I know. Everybody's been pretty supportive. I haven't really had too many friends that have been like,
Why are you doing that? Yeah, that's a waste of time. Everybody's an influencer on YouTube,
whatever, I don't care. But you might have people like that in your life that just don't want to see you get better because it reminds them that they aren't. Maybe they're at a place where they're just, stagnant in life. Another thing to remember is that nobody really hates on a loser who has nothing. Like, you're not going to see a homeless guy and be like, oh, fuck that guy, right? Whereas you see a guy in a city, gorgeous girlfriend, orange Lamborghini, you'll be like, you'll just automatically make judgments and just try to be like, oh, I bet he's a drug dealer, or, try to put him down in some way, because we kind of, it means you're doing something right. So if you're getting just like random hate, you're probably doing something right. So, you know, you almost got to just take it as a compliment. And again, keep in mind that it is just a projection of someone's insecurity. The assumption with all these statements I've made also is that you aren't just an asshole. In my case, I find that most people generally think I'm kind of funny. Sometimes I'll act a little douchey, just spice it up, right? But if you are just an asshole, then you know you'll probably have more haters than not. But what I was talking about in today's video is just people that kind of objectively, without like just knowing you in like a surfacey kind of area, or they just don't know you at all and just want to make judgments, like kind of the kind of people that like you'll hear about, like your friends that they're like, oh, that guy doesn't like that guy or whatever. But I mean, that's it for today's video, guys. If y'all like this content, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, leave any video suggestions down in the comments. I'll be sure to respond to all of them, since don't really have a huge following. So y'all, yeah, you know what to do. Later.